So here's my video for my game for this semester. Working title is The Fletchers. As you can see, it is just abhorrent to look at. The color scheme I chose was because it's supposed to be like this jukebox is like an alien that just happens to look like a jukebox and also makes terrible alien music out of its semi-organic alien body. I don't know why I'm starting this out with lore and not like mechanics, but that's just the way my brain works. But I chose the color palette based off of that idea of like a alien vomit party that you have been forced into. So I don't know how to do this. Let's just start, I suppose, with a small demo of what the game looks like when played. So I have a sort of like intro screen, so that way players, aren't immediately thrown into the action. They have a little bit of a breather. So you press space and then it starts. As you can hear, there's a lovely piano sound effect on the jukebox. Ooh. And then I made it so these small music notes, when they hit your bar, it auto kills you. And then I also have a timer, so it should restart. There you go. So I also have it so that if this ball falls into the death plane down here, it restarts the game. Because I couldn't, for some reason, the code would not allow me to have things affect the health of objects. I had this problem in my other class as well, and I don't know why it doesn't let me do this. I assume it's because I just don't know enough about coding yet. So I've opted instead for auto kill. You have one life. Use it wisely. Some other things. Oh, I actually stopped the recording. Some of the things about this game that I've made. There's a score and a health. Basically, the sort of basic idea of it is, if the health of the jukebox gets down to 0, you win, or if the score gets up to 100, you win. So you have two ways to win in this lovely game that I have made. Let's see, some other things. So you might be wondering, I actually didn't think about this, but based off of previous evidence of what I've been making in this class, you might be like, wow, this is way different. And it is, because I completely remade my game, because I figured that the last one was very boring. And so I was trying to think of a one-input game that would be interesting, and so I thought of basically a brick breaker mixed with a bullet hell sort of thing, because like, if I was better at coding spawns, I would have liked to have the music notes be a little bit more like organized or spread out, because as at the moment what I have on it is basically let me go into the code to actually show you what I have. Forgot what I was doing there for a second. Oh, there it is. Wow, really couldn't see. I think it's spawner movement. Yeah. So it's basically like, I bet if I made it so it didn't maximize on play and then like put over one of the spawn points. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, actually if I go into collision, you can see it's this thing here. I'm actually gonna freeze the ball. I'm gonna freeze the ball, so that way I'm gonna play it, but I don't want it to auto reset when the ball inevitably falls to its doom, because I'm not actually playing, I'm just looking at the spawn, so if I set static, that should be fine. Let's see, is it frozen? Yes. Oh, I just realized it's frozen anyway, because of the thing. But yeah, so basically these things, I press this, you can see they're slightly moving in like little circles. All of them are in gentle little circles. And I think I actually also might have attached that to the actual projectiles themselves. Let me see. Note movement. Let's see if note movement has that in there. I forget. Note movement. Yeah, so both the spawn points and the notes themselves, the projectiles that spawn out of them, are on like sort of circular rotations. Because I was kind of going for, if you know about like classic bullet hells, one of the classic patterns is a sort of flower or circular shape, because I think those are relatively easy to program into like a math-based system, because circles are math. Circles is math. It's my best insight into math. But yeah, I wanted it to be a little bit of an interesting pattern. In order to make sure that the projectiles, don't just continue forever and clog up the thing, I believe I have it so when they collide with, let's see if we can see them in action. So let's see, can we find one? Yeah. You'll see that when the projectiles make contact with, oh, whoops, I unpaused, so on. I need to refreeze the ball, because it just fell to its doom and reset everything. I'm just going to keep the ball frozen for all of this, because really, in order to show anything, you just need to keep it frozen. But yeah, anyway, you can see that when you start up the game and the projectiles start spawning, I've made it so I believe all of these bricks, because it's attached to this, or not this, yeah, it's attached to the, I have a tile thing in here. Where is it? Where's my tile? Oh, here you go. See, the sides, it's all a tile map, and it's all these bricks and these bricks. These bricks are mostly for decoration, and also, so these bricks sort of also double, they also double, not only as sort of kill planes for the projectiles, that way they don't continue forever, because that was a thing that I was having trouble with, was, because if you see when the freaking projectiles spawn, they spawn not as prefabs, but as clones of the prefab, and so that naming sort of convention and the fact that they're not like registered quite the same as prefabs themselves was making it hard to destroy them after they respawned. But I made this kill plane, which I believe, let's see if I can look at the code. It'll probably show you the solution that I came up with. Oh, it's probably on the projectiles themselves then. You can see I have a lot of scripts. I think it's Note Destruction Outer. I could count how many scripts I have, but that would definitely be padding this. If this is not already padding this video for time, that would absolutely be padding the video for time. But Note Destruction Outer is what I called it. Yeah, and I basically made it so instead of trying to destroy the objects based on naming convention, I found this helpful in my other game design class, is thinking of objects not solely as like the names themselves, but also as the tags. I was neglecting the tags a lot, but they're actually extremely helpful, especially in terms of collision mechanics. And so by simply making this tag wall, I wouldn't have to care about the sort of naming conventions of anything at all, as long as, because tags carry over into the clones. So yeah. Or tags don't carry over the clones, but this wall has this tag no matter what, so even if the clones have different, things on them, this will always be wall, so when they collide with it, it'll always be wall. Anything else? Animation-wise, you can see there's not a lot of animation on like the ball or the bar, because I feel like adding animation to these, because they're both moving, would maybe be a little bit disorienting. But I did add an animation to the jukebox, and I don't know if you saw, and it's a little bit flighty on when it decides to do this. I'm going to unfreeze the ball, which I said I wouldn't do it again, but I need to show you this, and that requires the ball to be not Zeral Redode. But if I go like this, I'm kind of going off the scene view because I can't exactly see. Yeah, that's fine. See, it didn't do that time, and I don't quite know why. I've tried to finagle with it quite a bit, but it is just not really doing it very consistently. But every once in a blue moon, I think it has something to. Yeah, I think it because it does. You do recognize the time the shaking that comes with it to indicate, along with the piano sound, that it was hit. I think it has something to do with the transition times, but I fiddled with them a lot, and at one point I messed it up so bad that the animation did not play at all for sure. So I just stopped messing with it. Other animations, I think the only other animation that I added was in the actual characters down there on the bottom right. You can't actually see it right now because I don't have it on maximize play. If you see, they do a little jig because it's dancey, you know. Oh, and then there's the spots in the background, which are supposed to be spotlights. Other aesthetic things, there's the terrible clown vomit of the background and everything. I have those very nice JPEG audiences that I made. That you could see that the note projectiles change color. I could try to give you some deep sort of mechanical game design reason on why I made them change colors. But really it's just because I wanted to, and by God, if I make a game, I get at least one thing that I do just because I wanted to, not for any game design reason. I also added this little Let's Dance sort of like quip that the jukebox makes, because I thought it'd be cool to have a little typewriter, and I thought for the player it might be nice to have a little bit of a banter with the objects. You don't want to just an enemy that just stands there and takes it. If I had more time, I would like to add more, because I was kind of curious about adding multiple lines of dialogue that would, it would play this and then it would go on to the next one. Unfortunately, I did not have enough time to explore that possibility. Anything else? Oh, I'm realizing this whole time I didn't actually. I think I turned it off because it was very grating. It's called Big Music because that's the way I name things. But there's of course a soundtrack. It's not just silent. That'd be crazy. This is a music game. It's completely silent. Why is it not playing? Oh, it's missing the audio clip. Play that funky beat. There you go. I don't know why it moved the audio clip. I think it's because I updated Unity. They're a little bit mad at me. But yeah. They're playing a song. Oh yeah, and you can see when you, if I can get it over there, I have it so, and you can see there's a little bit, I thought that was fun, so I kept it in. There's a little bit of a collision. Yeah, the song restarts every time you die, though, which I thought was appropriate. There's a collision every time the ball itself hits any of the projectiles. So they sort of spin when the ball hits them, which I thought was fun. But yeah, when you hit this jukebox, the score and the health goes down, the score goes up appropriately. That also was a bit of a mechanical problem with me because I had it to where, if you look, I don't know if oh yeah, I don't want to open the full thing, because but if you look in the inspector over here, you'll see that I have the thing in the update. I did not originally have these lines of code in the update. I originally had them in start, which I noticed made it so the changes, like if you hit the jukebox, and thus removed, like I think I put it to -10 every time you hit it. If you removed 10 from the health, it would not recognize this on the screen. Like it would say 100 still, even if you hit it, and it would not do that unless it restarted. Like if the ball fell or you died because one of the projectiles hit you. So I realized that this is only, it says right here, it's called the first frame update, which means it's not going to do it again. So I was like, oh, I should probably move it to where it's doing it constantly, because this needs to be a constant update, because it will change within the game. Which I was very proud for myself for figuring out on my own, based on, human logic and using my brain cells. Rubbing the 2 brain cells I have left to create one thought. But yeah, I think that's basically everything. I have confetti here. This plays when you win. You can see it's a particle effect. Oh, it's colliding with the thing. Hold on. Well, I'll fix that before I send it to you. hopefully. But imagine small things of confetti raining down. That's basically what they are. Yeah, there's a music spike. This is game over. This is basically what makes it so when you die, it loads the thing up again. I think this is the death zone for the ball. This death zone. This canvas. I don't know if I should be going through all of this. I think I'm over 5 minutes, but I feel like I should at least go through. I won't go through all the shit in here because it's a death zone down there. But this is the the things. This is the start text right here, and as well as the disc in the background. Oh, that's another thing. I was gonna try to make this spin, but again, I don't think that'd be a smart idea because I am recording this at 8 p.m. So like 4 hours before this is due. So I don't think that would be a smart idea for me to try to do now. I'd rather get this in. Yeah, confetti. I don't know what this is, to be honest, but I'm too afraid to delete it because it sounds important. This is the walls that the ball bounces off of. I added walls, all these, so that way the ball wouldn't bounce off into infinity. This is the jukebox, the spots in the background. This is, you can't see them because of behind the disc, but this is all the characters. I grouped them together to make it easier on my eyes. The ball, the music thing. I remember the music thing used to be such a big problem even though I was trying to make it so it only, in the previous one where previous iteration of my game where it was just a spinny ball, music was always tough for me, but now it pretty much works all the time, which is awesome. This is all the spawns. I'm realizing now I should probably I'm gonna put these all in one area, because I don't like having things spread out. This is the background that I made myself, by the way. I don't know why I'm flexing on that, but you can't even see it right now, but I think I'm proud of it. This is the audience PNGs. It's 4. This is these really bad. I thought it was. These are really like shitty if you think about them, but I think they look cool. They kind of look like they're made out of like invisible material, kind of like those butterflies whose wings are partially transparent. I thought it was cool. I don't know. My taste in things is obviously just based on the visuals of this thing. Can only be described as clowncore. Again, event system. Don't know what this is. Not gonna delete it. Very scared. The slides, and then this is just a little purple. The little purple thing that the stage, quote unquote. I did not spend a lot of time on the graphics of that. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's everything. I hope you like my game. Bye.